What's good, YouTube? It's me, your boy Squiddy, back again with another video. So Cyberstorm Access is a new booster pack that's coming out in the TCG in about a month, and there are actually a lot of new cards in this set that will definitely shake up the format. So we have a lot of new support for things like the Purely deck. We get Purely Lily, and then we also get some new super heavy samurai cards that allow you to make like one card Baronne plus like 2 pendulum scales or something absolutely nuts. I know Purelies are also pretty good in the OCG as well, so we'll probably see like some kind of Purely in the tier 1, tier 2 spot in the TCG metagame. We're also potentially getting new TCG exclusives for the Gold Pride monsters, so maybe that could be a deck. We're getting like some new Bistio level 10 Synchro that's like an Omni Effect Negator, and we're also even getting like some new branded cards, I think. So there are definitely a lot of cards that are going to shake up this format, and I know that we're probably getting a ban list to coincide with that as well sometime in the next month or two, so definitely expect some big changes to our metagame. Cashier might just get everything limited to 1 like it was in the OCG, so it might not be a popular deck anymore. But speaking of a new set and potentially new format, I kind of wanted to talk about some cards that you guys should pick up right now before they go up super high in price, because I think there might be some potential for them to be played or sided in the metagame. So let's just dive in. Starting off at the forefront, XYZ ENCORE. So this is a quick play spell card that was seeing some popularity in the OCG. I know it trickled up a couple of dollars in price in the TCG because it was kind of hyped up against Cashteria. It could deal with the Arise Heart. It detaches all the materials and then sends it back to the extra deck so they don't special summon anything from the grave because the materials are banished because of Arise Heart. And this card actually works on X Purely Noir, which is the towers like Xyz monster that the Purely deck typically ends in. It's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects while it has 5 or more materials, and then you can detach 2 materials from it to spin back any card on the field or in the graveyard. So it's pretty good. Like I would say that XYZ ENCORE actually might be decent, especially because it's good against this deck and potentially also hitting Kashtira as well. So like there's some crossover there, and as I checked, I think it was about $7 on TCG Player. It's kind of like at that sweet spot where I think you guys can definitely pick up a playset for like 15, 20, and then it might just go up super high in price. It hasn't really seen any printings in the recent years. The only reprint that it has was like in some tin near like 8 or 9 years ago. So this card is definitely really good against Purely. If Purely becomes like a tier 1 deck, then I could see this being an auto inclusion in every side deck. So you guys should definitely pick this one up. Moving on is Forbidden Droplet. This is another quick play spell. I feel like a lot of people definitely forgot about this card just because of the existence of Arise Heart. So just banishing everything in the format. Obviously, Droplet is sending to the graveyard as a cost, so you cannot use it to send anything to the graveyard, therefore not being able to negate Arise Heart and just having a dead card in your hand. But I think after Kashtira gets kind of hit by the ban list, it probably will trickle out of popularity, and then Forbidden Droplet might start seeing a lot of play because it's very good against the combo-heavy decks like the Bistio Synchro deck that's popular in the OCG and potentially will be popular in TCG. I find that TCG players like a lot of heavy combo decks, so we might just see like some kind of Bistio mishmash of good cards in the TCG metagame. And then, of course, the Super Heavy Samurai. This is like a very synchro combo-based deck that makes use of a lot of monsters. It's basically monster mash, but they put up like a bunch of Omni Negates in the form of BARONNE, the FLEUR, in the form of potentially BORRELOAD Savage Dragon as well. So a lot of different cards. And this card just might be really good because you can deal with multiple cards. It's really flexible. You're able to send cards to the graveyard as well. So if some kind of synchro deck that wants cards in the graveyard, maybe this could be really useful. I know the Bistio Synchro deck does play the Bistios as well, so you might not always have something to banish. So being able to send like a Dark or Light to the graveyard using Forbidden Droplet to negate something and then banishing it to special summon out your Bistios from hand is really, really good as well. So I think this is definitely a good pickup. It's only $15 on TCG Play right now for like the lowest printing, which I think was a Brothers of Legend Secret, which is really an all-time low for this card. Like guys, when this card was popular, it was floating around 40 to 50 bucks, even for the reprint. So I definitely think you should spend like 40, 45 bucks to pick up a playset now if you don't have it already. Next is DROLL Knockbird. So this card just in a recent reprint as well. It wasn't really seeing a lot of play again because it's not like it's okay against Kashtira. It's not great. If they start playing around it, it's just like not very good. But I know some players started main deck it, especially for the YCS 250th in both London, LA, and South America. So this card is actually really cheap right now. It's like $1 for the cheapest printing. So if you guys don't have this right now, pick up a playset because it's very good against combo decks, especially Super Heavy Samurai, because they do a lot of adding. So this card kind of just stops them in their tracks and is really, really cheap right now. So guys, pick this up. When this card was sided at 3, I remember like when there were no reprints, it was something around $15, $20, even for like the rare printing. So it could definitely start trickling up in price, probably 5 or 6 when the super heavy samurais start dominating the meta. So definitely pick that up. Other card that is a little more expensive is Triple Tactics Thrust. This card is just floating at around $60 on TCG Player Retail, so that's kind of high for a card in general, but I think this card has so much potential that it could just like go up towards like 80, 90, maybe even $100 in price. So if you guys have like a flexible budget, or if you have trades and you're able to get some higher end cards, I would definitely say pick up Triple Tactics Thrust. Maybe if you can do it for like $50, so like $150 for the playset, I think that's a really good value, because this is in one of the newer packs, Photon Hypernova, and it's not going to see a reprint in the tin or anything. We might not even see a reprint for another year. So I think this card is actually really good in a metagame where there are a lot of combo heavy decks like Super Heavy Samurai. Even against Purely, like they're going to be using their effects, you know, X Purely Noir during your main phase. So if you can bait that out, this is always live. And being able to search either engine in a lot of decks in the form of like terraforming or like any spell card that can start your engine, or power spell cards like Dark Hole, Raigeki, Triple Tactics Talent, any powerful spell cards that you can think of that it's an auto include in your deck, I think, and being able to search evenly matched as well. You have like a flexibility, so if you have 3 of these in your deck, you have a lot of flexibility. I think it's really good going second, especially in a format that has a lot of Omni Negates, which I feel like we're going to see. If OCG is any indicator of like us having a bunch of Omni Negates in their format, I think we'll probably see something similar after Saiho comes out. So I think this is definitely a card that you guys want to pick up. The minute that people start siding this in all of their decks, it's going to go up in price a lot. So it's better to pick them up now while they're cheap. And I just think, you guys should definitely grab them if you don't have them already. And then talking about some of the synchro monsters, BORRELOAD Savage Dragon, this card is only like $8 or $9, I think. It just got recently reprinted in the tins. It's really at an all-time low right now. This is an Omni Negate level 8 that can be played in the Bestial Synchro deck as well as the Super Heavy Samurai deck, and we might even see combo decks make use of both of them, right? Because like TCG players just love mishmashing good cards together, so I think Savage Dragon is definitely a good pickup right now. It might float up towards $20-$25 again the minute that people start playing it, because right now there aren't a lot of decks that can make use of this. Maybe Dragon Link, but they're kind of like a rogue contender, and no one's really playing Omni Negate monsters, so this is a chance to pick this up. You only need 1 copy. I think the Starlight Rare is like maybe $200 or so as well, so if you're like a big budget baller, you could probably pick up one of those, because those will probably go up in price as well. The minute that this sees play in decks, people are going to start buying it out again, right? So, and remember, we don't have Chaos Ruler anymore. That was like the generic Synchro level 8 to go into previously with the Bestial Synchro deck in the OCG, because they can use that new Excel Synchron to special summon it back and then keep playing. But since we have that banned in the TCG, I think BORRELOAD Savage Dragon is like a level 8 that you might be able to do in the combo line instead of the Chaos Ruler at some point. So I definitely think you guys should pick it up. And then the last card that I think you guys should pick up is Baron de Fleur. This card just got a recent reprinting in the Maze of Memories, and it's only floating around $40-$45. So if you can pick it up for like 40, maybe even 35, if you can find someone desperate enough to get rid of it, which I don't think you will. But this is just like an Omni Negate synchro that's going to be prevalent in any combo deck moving forward, especially Super Heavy Samurai. And now that it's been freshly reprinted, it's kind of low on the price because everyone has it. There's an abundance on the market. There are a lot of boxes being opened. But in a month or two, people are going to stop opening Maze of Memories, and this card is going to start trickling up in price. Maybe it could go up again close to $100 when people realize how good of a card it is and how much of a staple in the extra deck is. Basically, any synchro deck plays this card because it's just so easy to go into. It's an Omni Negate. It can pop a card on the field, and then in the standby phase, you can put it back to your extra deck to keep playing, right? So I just think that this is a great time to pick it up because it's really cheap as well. If you guys don't have this card already, definitely invest a solid $40 into getting this card because it's going to be a staple moving forward for as long as possible. It's not going to get a reprint anytime soon because we just saw it get reprinted. So I think this is an auto inclusion into your bucket list if you guys don't have this already. And I think that's about it for the cards. If you guys have any other cards that you think might be good or you've seen in the OCG deck lists doing well, just let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.